All right, welcome back to another edition of Dirty Talk. I am your host, Dirty Cuts, and I'm here with the lovely
VP. What up? What up?
All right, today we got a special guest. This brother is the, how can I put it, the Buddha monk of entrepreneurship of the Winston-Salem Tre4 area. Our boy, your boy, all our boy, as a grown-ass man, Marlin Wilkins. Woo!
My man.
Yes,
Look, before we get started, I'm going to say abracadabra.
Abracadabra. He has blessed us with his presence.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Abracadabra.
Now, most people try to figure out what abracadabra means, right? You hear that in the movies, right? Abracadabra means...
I guess that means it comes into existence.
Yeah, I create as I speak. Abracadabra. So everything that we're talking about today, we're going to create something.
That's like a freestyle almost, right?
My man. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay. Well, he already hitting us out with 1, 2 chuckles.
All the knowledge.
I mean, y'all always give her the mic anyway.
Your voice can't
I know, I'm just messing. No hatred intended. I know, I'm just saying. I was just messing. Well, okay, now let's get on with it. So, first off, before we even get started, on the behalf of the Dirty Talk podcast, I would like to apologize about the last taping that we had. Should have been the first, but with some technical difficulties, and we were still learning, and everything was new. And you came in and blessed us with a phenomenal interview, and I just want to apologize for that
man, look, that wasn't the message. That wasn't the message that needed to be heard.
Oh, okay.
It's just that simple. It's just that simple, right?
And abracadabra.
Well, it was meant for the people that
was in that room
to hear it.
My man.
That's right.
That message, because we walked away from that inspired.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That's why we're here today. Right now.
Yeah.
So let's go on into it. Let's get down to the dirty. You know what I mean? Let's take it back, man, because to your childhood, and from what I know of your history, you always was surrounded by entrepreneurship, starting with your father. No doubt.
Actually goes back further than that.
Okay, well, let's take it.
So my great granddad on my mom's side, Roosevelt Law, was a TV repairman. He owned his own TV repair company.
Okay,
right. And we're talking about in Martinsville, Virginia, in like the late '60s, early '70s through the '80s, right?
Okay.
My granddad, Thomas Wilkins, sold shoes in Happy Hill through a mail order catalog. You see what I'm saying? So, man, don't tell me you can't hustle. Come on, they was doing this thing forever, man. So don't tell me it can't be done. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, to be an entrepreneur, bro, is exactly what it is. It's every day. It's a hustle. It's a grind.
Right.
It's just that simple. It ain't gonna never be easy, y'all.
No, right.
If it was easy, everybody be doing it, right?
That's right. That's right.
It's just that simple.
It ain't easy, brother.
It ain't easy, brother. It ain't easy, but it's necessary.
It's necessary. Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah. But even down to my dad. My dad owned a painting and decorating company here called Rips Painting and Decorating.
Yeah,
I mean, but
God bless Mr. Rip. My dude.
Yeah, he was right there on Northwest Boulevard. But even within that space, man, that business had businesses within it. It went from it was a painting and decorating company. It was a game room at one time. We had a bakery in there at one time. We had a little game room with a little restaurant in it at one time. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, man, here again, if you want to do it, it can be done. It's just that simple. I know y'all gonna hear me say it's just that simple all through this podcast because I want you to understand it's what?
Just that simple. So let me ask you a question since it's just that simple.
Go.
What keeps you inspired to do the multiple things that you do? So I want to let me divvy back right quick. This man is not only into real estate, he's into insurance, he's a bail bondsman. What am I leaving out?
Life coach, business coach. I do business consulting. I mean, you name it. If it's legal, I'm going to touch it.
So what keeps you motivated to do it through the hard times, through the difficulties?
Right. I don't like the word motivation, right? I think motivation is always something that's short term, right? If you get motivated, that means you got to get motivated again and again and again and again, right? So when I look at that, I look more so at how can you stay not motivated, right? But how can you stay within a habit of motivation?
Oh, wow.
Okay, there's a difference, right?
That's a difference.
If I'm constantly in a habit of being motivated, nobody has to do what? Nobody has to motivate me, right? Because, go ahead, go.
Let me ask you this question. How do you obtain endurance to keep
being in the
motivation?
Okay,
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go deep with it then, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to go down the
we're
rabbit
ready.
hole?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Find that endurance because and the reason I asked you that, and the reason I dug deep, is because I kind of got the consistency thing down, but a nigga get tired.
Tired.
Yeah, very
You know what I'm
tired.
saying? So it's like you need that recharge and that endurance. Where do you
you
find your endurance?
So if you were my client, we were doing a life coach session, right? The first thing I ask you is this: what does tired mean to you? Because tired to me means something totally different, right? So when you say you're tired, what do you mean?
Meaning I get mentally frustrated, especially if something it's not going my way or I'm not seeing the results, knowing that I'm putting in that work. You know, knowing that I'm putting in that I got, or what I have what I have for my resources at that moment.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying.
Now let me interrupt you right here. When I hear entrepreneurs talk about putting in work, right? We got to understand what putting in work means, right? Because this could be your problem, and it could be a real simple problem to solve, right? When you say putting in work, do you mean being busy, or do you mean being productive?
I mean being present.
Being busy or being productive? Which one? Because you can't be both. You can't do both.
Neither one. I mean present.
So that's your problem. If you're just present, right, then that means you're not being productive.
But
right?
See, I feel it as though if I'm present, I'm automatically going to be productive. And
how can you do that if you're tired? You just said you was tired. How can you do that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm being a machine. So if I'm present, I know I'm going to hustle. I know I'm going to get this. I know I'm going to get the scraps. I know I'm going to listen to this person. I know I'm going to have to give advice to this person. I know I'm going to have to do all this shit. So that's where the tiredness get in, because it's like, damn, is it any room for me?
Now, good one. You just talked it out for yourself. What was the last thing you said? Time for who?
Me.
Right? How do you recharge yourself? By taking time for who?
Me.
Make it make sense.
Me.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gave your own self the answer. Nobody at this table had to say anything to you. You already knew what it was. Right? But sometimes you got to talk that thing through. That's why mental health is so important for us. Right? I ain't saying, look, I'm not saying go get a counselor. I'm not saying go get a life coach. I'm not telling you to go get anybody. But what I'm telling you is you need somebody to talk to. Understand? There's a big difference. I don't care who you are. Look, every billionaire has a coach, has a mentor. Think about that.
Yes, they do. Yep.
Every professional athlete has a what? A coach. Right?
Right.
So at some point in your life, when you want to go further in life, you have to find a what?
A coach.
A coach. That coach can be a mentor, right? It can be somebody that's already doing what you're what? Doing. Or somebody that wants to do that, or somebody doing what you what? Want to do. Right? Within life, you're going to be within the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Financially,
wow,
happiness, everything. Think about the 5 people you spend the most time with right now, and I guarantee y'all have the same habits.
Wow.
Told y'all, did y'all want to go down the rabbit hole or not?
Yeah. Dirty
Dirty talk.
Y'all want to go down the rabbit hole?
That's real talk.
That's kind of heavy, y'all. Because when he said it, I thought about you guys.
Yeah.
I honestly did. And then I'm looking at how everybody had their situation in life.
And how because my little daughter asked me this. My 11-year-old, she said, how come all your friends are all the people that you know or knew when you were in college? She said you didn't switch up. In 20 years, you've been with the same girls from college. Throughout every degree you obtain, you're with the same girls. Y'all work in the same industry. Y'all talk 3 and 4 times a week. And y'all are pretty much on the same trajectory in life with businesses, home ownership, and everything else that we do, marriage and all of that stuff.
Proven fact.
And those are my, we're just alike.
Proven fact.
Yeah.
So when you hear people talk about they ready to go to another level, how can you go to another level with the same people that you're at the level with you at now?
Make it make sense for you.
Can't.
Right.
Because you don't have that.
That's what leveling up means.
Guidance. Wow.
Right? I believe in energy, frequency, right? Currency. It's an exchange, right?
Yeah.
Right? The one phrase that I hate to hear all the time is when people say, I'm matching energies. I ain't coming down on your energy. Shit, you got to come up to mine. I ain't matching nothing. Because I promise you, where I'm vibrating, if you come up here, you're going to be scared.
Yeah.
I got you.
This energy is moving.
Yeah, because I don't vibrate in consistency. I vibrate in change.
Wow. Now that's deep. Now that was a word. Say that again. You vibrate
in change.
I vibrate in change. You understand? I want to be what stuff is changing. If I'm vibrating, if I'm moving, I want to be what stuff is moving. I don't want to be stuck in the same path, the same linear path. You see what I'm saying? I want to be up here where it's uncomfortable. Take me up here. Let me adjust to the uncomfortableness. You understand?
Yeah.
Ask yourself that question. Are you
willing to?
Are you comfortable?
Or willing to adjust?
Now, comfortable. Y'all know what comfortable is, right? Now, this is for my people, y'all. This is for my people, and I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. So, let me give you a little history about me. So, I'm a middle class kid. Grew up with a mom and a dad, right? But I was fortunate enough that my grandma still stayed in Happy Hill. Excuse me, my grandmother stayed in Piedmont Circle.
Okay.
Right, but my dad, when I was younger, was a hustler. You understand? So I spent a lot of time in Happy Hill with him. So from Monday through Thursday, I was the perfect middle class kid. You understand? But Friday through Sunday, you
was a Happy Hill.
I was in Happy Hill or Piedmont Circle. You understand?
Yeah.
So when I tell people, I've lived it. Even in the bail bond industry, y'all think about this. I deal with the poorest of the poor and the richest of the rich. Because when you go to jail, we all the same. You in jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you in jail. I don't care if you're rich or poor. When you there, you in jail. Now, the means to get out is always different. We're going to understand that. We know that, right? But, it's all, one thing is consistent about who you deal with and how you deal with people. They're only going to deal with you the way that you allow them to deal with you.
That's good.
Wow.
You set that tone.
You set the tone.
Right? You set the tone. So I'm a firm believer, like I said, energy. I'm not coming down to your level. If you want to come up to mine, we can vibe. But I'm not going to be at that level long, so you got to catch up after that.
Catch up.
So, I mean, I'm telling you, the rabbit hole is deep.
Yeah.
But the rabbit hole is one thing that's always consistent about the rabbit hole. There's one person that can control all of this.
And it's you.
Who is that?
You.
It's you.
It's you. Yeah. We were just talking to one of our rappers about accountability. And that's something that people really have a hard time with once they dig themselves so far deep into a rabbit hole. Is understanding that they are responsible and accountable for what they have chosen to do.
You have
Wow.
to be responsible for your story.
For your story.
Right? And it's not the story that we tell out loud. The one that's the most important is the one that you tell yourself on the inside.
No.
Think about that story, y'all. That story shapes your outside world. Think about how many times you done lied to yourself to make it feel good to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Think about that story. You know, in it, you know, whatever the situation in your mind, you made it seem like it was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You spit that story in your mind before it came out your mouth to make it seem like it was okay to tell that lie.
Damn.
You have to be real careful with the story you tell yourself. That story shapes your life. Man, how could... The one thing that came to me, I do a lot of meditation. We'll get to that too. I do a lot of meditation in the morning time, right? So a lot of people pray, whatever, but I meditate because I like to listen, right? When you're praying, you're speaking and you're asking for things. How can you listen, right? You can only do one thing at a time. You can either talk or you can listen, right? So I choose to listen. And the one thing that always comes back from that is honesty, right? Have I always been honest in my life? No. Right? Am I striving to be honest, more honest? Yes. Why? Because honesty doesn't deserve, it needs no explanation. Think about that. Honesty needs no explanation.
And it'll set your ass free.
That's right.
And honesty is your truth. It's not the other person's truth.
Let me throw a monkey wrench in the joint. I've actually tried the meditation thing, and okay, I tried the meditation thing, and I noticed that silence is loud as hell. I mean, it's really, it's disturbing. It's disturbingly loud.
It is.
Is that just me, or is it something that I did wrong in my past life?
Listen,
because I actually sat down and tried that.
Can I expound on that?
Yeah.
Because I've been going through that for years, where I cannot be in silence, and I actually talked to my counselor about it. It's been things that have happened in my life to where now, being that I work from home and I'm in a constant state of quiet, where my kids are gone and stuff, I can't. I have to have something playing, music or the podcast, something to keep me thinking. And when I have to be in silence, it's almost like I fear it because I don't know.
It's like, what is that about? You know what I'm saying?
Look, I tell people, first of all, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't have a degree.
Okay.
Right, but I'm a certified life coach. Right. You came here with everything you needed. Think about that. Right? Literally, you came here with everything inside of you. There's nothing that grows on the inside of you right now that you didn't come here with. We're talking about from ovaries to semen. Every ounce of everything you're ever going to have is in you right now. Right? So think about that. When you think about everything is in you, that silence is in you. So guess what you're really hearing?
Yes, sir.
Now, the power of meditation is learning how to, like you said, the silence is what? Loud. So that means it's really not silence. That's the challenge of the meditation. The challenge of the meditation is to quiet that what? That noise. You understand? It's not to try to defeat that noise. It's to try. I'll even go deeper than that. Meditation is trying to understand why that noise is there. You see what I'm saying? You have to allow yourself in meditation to figure out what that noise is.
So when it's quiet, is that, have you mastered it?
Then you've mastered it.
When you get quiet.
Exactly. That's the mastering of it. Right? That's almost so. Oh man, that was. I'm gonna be honest with you. You just stepped on something right there, right? Because that's what pain is. That's what suffering is. Suffering is going through pain for how long? A period of time. Right? Why do we suffer? We suffer because we have already pretty much given in to. We've committed ourselves to that period of time frame to suffer. Right?
Yeah.
How do we do that? By not addressing the problem.
Talking it out.
Right?
Yep.
That's suffering. Right?
Yep.
But think about what happens. Like right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. You just dealt with the issue.
Oh, I'm dealing with issues
right now.
Right now.
Right?
Yeah.
But you just came to something in your mind and said, you know what? That silence is something. You just dealt with something right now. right? The suffering part of that is over. Now you got to figure out what it is to heal.
We not gonna have me crying on the You're not gonna have me underneath tables falling in the floor. That's deep.
That's the rabbit hole.
That's
the rabbit hole.
Let's take it here.
Let's go.
All right, so now that you've seen these guys, your ancestors and your fathers on this entrepreneurial path, so now that as you enter into the world as a young man, where did you decide to take it to with your own personal business?
Right.
Where did you start at?
I got started. I think that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs. They overthink this thing, right? You start thinking about you start putting all these blocks in front of you, right? Oh, I gotta have an LLC. I gotta have a bank account. I gotta do this. You know, you're looking at all of these. You're looking at all these business gurus, and they're giving you all the stuff on TikTok. 5 things you need to do to get started in business, right? But the one thing that they don't tell you is the first thing you need to do: get started.
Yeah, just do
Here again, what's my favorite phrase? Is what? Just that what?
It's that simple.
Just that simple. You want to sell clothes? Go sell clothes. You want to sell shoes? Go sell shoes. What are we doing? How difficult can you make it?
Yeah, that's good.
You know, I've started a lot of businesses, y'all. I've taken a lot of losses, a lot of chances. I don't take what I consider a loss. I consider it a lesson.
A lesson,
right?
Yeah. That's what I had to turn.
That's the first
I had to turn
right?
it into
I tell my boys that I coach. I say, you know, we don't take L's, we take lessons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't take losses, we take lessons.
Now
we're going to build from that and keep it going.
Yeah, if you make the same mistake again, now we got a problem though, right?
Yeah,
now we got a problem.
Now we got a real problem.
Now we got to start going, wait a minute, something ain't right,
yeah,
right?
Take a step back, come back to the drawing board, rethink that.
And we got to learn from them too.
You got to learn,
You got to learn from those.
We got to know how to get up off our face.
You know, so even with the starter, like I said, the starter it's going to be difficult. It ain't going to go right. It's you're going to hit every bump. You're going to hit every doggone curveball. They're going to throw it at you, right?
Yeah.
But here again, we got to be smart, y'all. We got, how many millionaires do y'all really think there are in the world?
In the world?
In the world.
I don't know, but I could say this.
Kevin Samuels had told us how many percentage of black people actually make $100,000 a year, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And if he told us that, then we got to look at even less for millionaires.
Not necessarily, because he was just talking about black men
and women,
in particular. You know what I'm saying? Not the whole population. So I don't know. So if we including everybody, I can say this. I don't know how many we got today, but I know today we have more millionaires than we ever had.
Okay. So this goes back to what I call, this is a money mindset question.
Okay.
A money mindset question, right? How many millionaires do y'all think there are in the United States? Just a rough guess. Go.
So about 20%.
How many you think?
20%.
Give me a number. He went percentage. Try to be slick.
Maybe 60.
60. Go.
60 what, million people?
60 people.
60.
Okay.
60 millionaires. Wow.
75 million?
Yes.
Okay.
75 million people that's millionaires?
Yeah, just in the United States.
How many millionaires?
Yeah, just millionaires. Just make $1 million. Just a million.
There's a lot of them we don't know about that's quiet too.
I get 100,000.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So
I would say that.
When I say money mindset, right? We got to start looking at money like money is not real. Y'all understand that, right?
Yeah.
Y'all understand they make this shit every day.
Yeah, every day.
Y'all understand that, right?
Okay.
So y'all understand that when a millionaire make $1 million, that don't mean just that's $1 million gone.
Yeah.
It just means he made $1 million.
I really value the barter system better than NL.
So
we ain't gonna go there. But go ahead, go.
I'm gonna let the fact checkers check me, but the last time I googled, it was 7.5 million
Oh, I told you.
millionaires in
Out
the
of this
United
whole
States.
country. 5 million.
7.5. Yeah. So yeah, so we gotta start changing the way we look at this thing called money. It don't go away. Just because you make $1 million don't mean that that's $1 million I can't make.
Right.
You understand? We gotta switch that. That just means if you make $1 million, that means you know what? I know I can make $1 million. How?
Also too, I think this for the young people. I think they have to travel and go to different places and see how much money really out there.
Man, listen.
It's a different situation, but you can see that just in your own state. I remember when I went into the pharmaceutical industry and I had to drive to Raleigh from Winston to work, and I would have to pull up in Research Triangle Park, and I worked right by the airport, and I would see all the Porsches and the Lambos and all of this, and I was like, what? I said, what is this going on? You know what I'm saying? It was a whole nother mindset, because I hadn't been around corporate America and seen the type of money that these people make and the type of money that they just give out for bonuses, and just here, you did this here, here's a Visa card, and then they like working for some of these corporations, you get your own cards, you get your own phone, like that, business phones, like in my own computers. It's just like a whole nother world, and that's just a little bit, but that was just going from here to Raleigh.
Right. 2 hours. An hour and a half, 2 hours.
And I seen a whole different world.
Hey, you could have went the other way.
Could have went the other way. Could have went to Charlotte.
2 hours and
matter of fact, could have went to what's that? Could have went to Burlington.
To go to Atlanta.
And could have went to Burlington, because you know that's one of the richest little cities in North Carolina.
You would be amazed.
They're trying to make Winston-Salem the richest now.
Winston-Salem, y'all. I mean, this city has so much potential. We know that.
It does.
You know, we know that. You know.
Marlon, this is what I want to ask you about, brother. Since you're such an entrepreneur, Negro,
let's go,
man. As the black culture in Winston, as far as entrepreneurs is concerned, do you feel we have a piece of downtown? Because I see the gentrification.
The gentry
going on.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going on. It's happening. It was in place. We all heard about it.
Legacy
2030.
2030.
10 years ago, and now we're actually seeing it coming to fruition.
That's right.
And it's a whole bunch of pushing and shoving going on.
That's right.
It's a whole bunch of shit talking. Because I work right downtown, right in the heart of downtown. So I'm seeing it. Do you feel we have a place downtown? Because that's part of our culture and our history too. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day before integration and everything, we had Trade Street. You know what I'm saying? But we just couldn't go on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Right.
Dog.
Right.
I know this because my grandmama and them tell me. I remember the stories and stuff like that. And for what I see on documentaries.
Right.
Do you feel we have a piece of downtown?
No. You know, so I have office space at the Winston Mutual Building right on 5th Street, right? Which is pretty much the gateway to downtown from East Winston. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the process now. I'm in the process now of opening up an insurance agency back in that building. I don't know if anybody knows the history, but Winston Mutual Insurance Company used to be one of the biggest black-owned insurance companies in the nation. Right? So the history in Winston-Salem is so big, y'all. We got the Safe Bus Company. Yeah. I mean, we got so much history here, y'all. It is unreal. Yeah, but you know, the thing that gets me now about entrepreneurship, however you want to call it, in Winston is that people generally are, number one, either afraid to work with each other. Number two, have been taught to not work with each other. or number 3, just don't understand the value of networking and just relationship building. You know, I feel like there should always be small business in East Winston, but I also think there should be big business as well. You know, how can you expect for a community to grow if you don't have, you know, bigger outlets or grocery stores or those things that bring people that actually have the type of income that you need to support the neighborhoods anyway, right? Because we understand that if gentrification is coming, if we can convince our own people that are making the same amount of money to move back into the neighborhoods and buy those properties, then guess who becomes the gentrifier? We do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the money stays in the black neighborhood. Every dollar stays where? In the black neighborhood. Right? If you can convince somebody that moved out of East Winston 20 years ago when the houses were worth, what, $35,000, now they're selling for $285,000. If you can get them to move back into East Winston and buy a $285,000 house, think what that would do for East Winston.
Man, it would boost it. It would boost it so hard. It would do good.
Right? But, you know, a lot of people
Maybe
hate.
we can get a Chick-fil-A over there in East Winston.
I mean, honestly, you know, those are the type of things we have to start looking at. You know, I hear people talk about gentrification. I'm against gentrification unless we're the gentrifier. I will say that, right? But I also understand that progress has to be made. I can't be mad at Miss Lucille, right, for selling her house for $285,000 when she bought it in 1952 for $50,000.
Yeah, she done.
You know, and now she's 75, 80 years old. Mama and, you know, kids don't want to do it. I mean, how can you be mad? How can you be upset with this lady for selling a house for $280,000? You understand? So we had to flip this thing too. We got to understand that, man, people are hurting, and I mean, if money is going to solve your problem, then guess what? You're going to take the money.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to look at.
It makes sense, but I feel like as a people, we need to redirect that. The people that should have been buying that $250,000 house is that young couple that graduated from A&T. You know what I'm saying? The 2 black young couples that's trying to raise a family back into the neighborhood.
I enjoy that conversation, but I'm gonna put it to you simply like this, man. If you won $1 million, if you hit $1 million lottery tomorrow, where you gonna move to? Where you moving to, Ricardo? Come on, y'all. I mean, come on. This. These are the real conversations.
I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. I'm going back to my roots, go out to the country and buy me some land.
Yeah, but that's what.
You're not gonna be in the community.
And building a house. But what I am going to do, I do have visions of this, of starting a group developmental company with a group of developers, black developers, and we buy back our neighborhood and make our neighborhood better where we do want to come back to our neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it, to be honest. I mean, the best way is for us to control that.
Yeah.
You know, we have enough people that do real estate around here. We got enough attorneys. We got enough doggone realtors. We got everything we need, right, to do it. But it's always the but. It's always the but.
Okay, so like even in our history on Patterson or Oklahoma, Glen, there's beautiful homes up through there. But and we had and when they were first built, we had doctors, we had lawyers, we had business owners all through there that didn't mind living there. So what kind of mind state were they in? And what kind of mind state are we in when we feel like we too good not to come back into our neighborhood?
I mean,
it ain't so.
Do we feel like we too good, or is it just a personal doggone decision to make?
I mean, you looking at somebody here that's a whole testimony to that whole situation.
But see, you feel like you deserve better, and you wanted a nice look. You wanted a nice neighborhood.
It wasn't that.
Okay, what was the reason?
And I kept my house. I kept my house, right?
Right.
The reason that I left is because I needed to invest my money. I outgrew my investment in that property. And they weren't going to give me any more equity. The house is worth what they say it's worth.
Well, see, that's the whole problem that goes right back
to the gentrification. But the thing about it is, one thing I can say from this conversation, if you own a house in the hood and you can also go get you another property, continue to own your house in the hood, take care of it, keep it renovated to the best of your ability without pouring every asset you have into it. And when it turn around, which it will, because the gentrification will turn it around, the property, as long as you can pay the property taxes on it, as long as you can pay your mortgage, it'll turn back around to your favor. So it's a waiting game. Yeah,
any type of what I call investment, right? An investment should pay for a liability. That's how I look at it. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you know, I sell life insurance. I'm a life insurance agent. So I'm always looking at now, you know, I used to look at life insurance as this liability policy. Right? That's how people always think about life insurance. Oh, when you die, we got to have something to bury. Right. Y'all, life insurance is an asset. You understand that? You understand you can use your life insurance while you're alive? You understand? Yeah. But not only that, but even on the if you want to call it a liability, think about this. Think about what happens when you pass away with a life insurance policy. What happens? Let's say you have a $100,000 life insurance policy. You pass away. And you leave it to your significant other, and they got $100,000 to bury you with, right? And they only use $25,000 to bury you with. What do they do with the other $75,000? Hopefully, you know, hopefully. Now you said hope, and I'm saying hopefully because I'm about to be funny as hell when I say this, right? Ain't no hopefully, right? The difference between what we do is we don't even plan for that. Nope. Okay, man, y'all. I'm think about this. Think about people that own. Think about families that own forestries, right? And I mean, they got thousands of acres of land, right? Do y'all realize that 9 times out of 10, the acre of land that they plant, their grandchildren will probably be the ones that cut those trees down? Y'all see that, right? Yeah. That's what a life insurance policy is. Yeah. It's an investment now. For later. For what? Later. Right? It's a head start for your next generation, people. Think about that. You can leave your next generation a $75,000 head start. How many people left y'all a head start?
Nobody. Well, my grandmother,
so why she did? Man, look, thank you.
She left me her home. I had to buy it, of course, because it was some monies owed. But she did. She gave me a head start, so I didn't have to worry about, oh, I'm in college debt. Can I be a homeowner? Yes, I could be a homeowner because somebody willed me their property.
Yeah, that was a blessing.
It was a real blessing, and that's why I continue to do what I do with it. But it has also been hard, very challenging.
So when y'all hear stories like that, that's the reason why. I mean, man. Think about it. You think about the situation you're in right now, right? We're always so short-sighted, right? So I'm gonna shorten it up for you. I'm gonna make it really simple. Think about where you are right now, because right now is all that matters. Not what happened yesterday, and not what's gonna happen tomorrow, because everything is controlled where in the what? Present.
Yeah, the present.
So you have to make those decisions consciously and right now. So what I meant by hopefully. I mean, look, the average, some other people that have been wealthy from life insurance, I'll give you their formula, okay? What they've done is they pretty much set it up for their next generation. They've got the life insurance policy in place. They've got a financial advisor in place who knows what to do with the money after you are deceased. So it's not that you're really leaving the money to XYZ, right? But you're leaving it XYZ, but guess what? I got somebody in place to do what? Make sure that money does what? Grow. So it's always another step, right?
Gotcha.
So trust me, y'all, life insurance policies, I don't care who you are, I don't care what situation you're in, contact me. Let's get a policy going. So you can not only protect yourself, but you can get this next generation wealthy.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
If you're military and you're going to get buried for free, Can you still get a life insurance
Yes,
policy?
sir.
Of course.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, you can have as many policies as you can
That's the
afford to pay
man.
for.
Listen, that's the part. I mean, y'all. I mean, it's man. Life insurance. You can go down. We can go down a whole other rabbit hole with that.
Yeah.
You know, but I will say this: life insurance is more than just help bury me when I die.
Yeah.
I will say that.
For the living for now too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
No,
you
you
can borrow against
Yes,
it.
You can borrow against
You can
it.
put money on it, double it up.
If you
flip it, slap it, reverse it down.
And legally, this is what we're talking about. We ain't talking about nothing that's illegal.
Yeah.
We're
No.
talking about stuff that we can sit on this podcast and say, look, you can put your money in a life insurance policy.
That's right.
Straight cash into your life insurance policy.
And it ain't getting taxed.
Yeah.
You can get as many policies as you want
Did you
or
heard
need.
Did you heard it?
This is one piece of history.
Did you heard it?
This is one piece of history that a lot of people don't understand about life insurance policy. Back in the day, a lot of people, black people, weren't able to get policies. And that's why a lot of our families didn't invest in them, didn't understand the nuances that go with having those such policies, because we weren't given the opportunity to have them. But now that we have the opportunity, you need to sit down with someone, like he said, such as himself, and learn the game, because it's a real good way to take care of your family and take care of yourself.
Yes.
Speaking of the game, I know that when you're a mogul and you have all these business ideas, you got to have a money machine to sponsor these other ideas. And I take it as though that's why you entered into the bail bonding game. Is that, am I correct? Or why did you enter yourself into the bail bonding game?
Man, the bail bonding game kind of found me. Man, I was fresh back into the trade from Ohio. My dad was a minister here, and he was actually he would go to the jail 3 days a week and do jail ministry. And during that time, man, during the 90s, the early 90s, late 90s, my dad he did a lot of vigils in Boston and Happy Hill. And we're talking about like overnight 24-hour visuals in the parking lot, you know, and we ain't talking about no come by, drop off no food. We're talking about there, right? So for me, like I said, even from being a young jit to just being around that, I've always had a desire to help first, right? So the bail bond thing for me turned more so. It came more so as a help for my community, for the people around me.
It was already a ministry.
It was a ministry. At that time, it was a ministry, right? It was an outreach ministry. If you look at it like that, it was an outreach ministry, right?
Yeah. And I remember those days because my uncle, I'm in the internet, my uncle, Pastor Bishop Claude D. Thomas.
Yep.
Used to be with your dad all the time.
Yeah, you know, they was tight. They was tight.
Yeah,
I mean, so
I remember that. And that's why he called his church Genesis Victory Outreach.
Outreach. Exactly. I mean, you know, that's a different thing. You know, outreach is just different, right? So for me, man, you know, I don't claim to be, I'm more of a spiritual type now. So for me, the outreach is really more so, I still keep that as my core, right? Outreach, trying to figure out a way to help people. And I feel like if you help people, people will help you. That's the return. That's the return of currency, right? Me helping you it may come in a return of money, may come in a return of networking gets me further, right? But that's what energy is about. It's about that return, that currency, right? So the bail bond for me, man, it started out as being a way to help, but it turned into a way to help, but it also turned into a way to grow.
Gotcha.
To be able to branch out and to do other things, to meet a lot of people, man. I mean, like I said, man, I met some of the the stories. If I could write a book, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, 20 years in, I pretty much dealt with everybody that you know, and probably people that you know.
What's one interesting story that just come up to the top?
I mean, man, you know, the fugitive recovery part is always the fun part. You know, I would say.
Fugitive recovery.
Yeah, the fugitive recovery.
Fugitive recovery.
Yeah, I would say, people.
I don't know why that was so funny.
It is.
That look like Marlin.
Yeah.
That look like Marlin.
There you go. There you go.
When you walk into certain places, everybody already know who you are, and the first thing you could be just coming to eat, and the first thing I was like, who you looking for? Nah, bro, I'm just here to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was early. That was early on, man.
So say you was going to get something to eat. Have you ever just bumped into somebody that you just was looking for all of a sudden? Like,
man, I done been, man.
Where you supposed to be at?
To the convenience store, bro. To the convenience store. You walk in the convenience store, you be like,
like, really?
I've been looking for you for 3 months. 3 months. I done stopped to buy a damn tea, and here you go.
Goddamn, Marlon, I shoot you $5, bro. Let me go home and get some new drawers on.
Well, man, I tell people all the time, I can't speak for everybody else. I will put it to you like this. Freedom Bell Bonding does not want to chase you. Can I tell y'all that? I'm going to be honest with you. That's not what the hell we're in business for. We are in business to get you out of jail.
Right.
To give you an opportunity for you to clean yourself up, get your shit together, and be presentable when you go to court.
Right.
Right? That's the deal, right?
Yeah.
We don't call you to say, hey, can we get you out of jail? Right? We don't call your family and say, hey, look, we don't do that. You call us, right, and request us to do a service. We provide that service and you get back on the street. Now, my problem always comes in is where you don't uphold your end of the bargain. Right?
Yeah.
If I didn't come and get you, my name would be Mud.
Yeah.
Right? If I didn't come and get you, you'd be talking junk.
People run over
Freedom ain't crap. You ain't doing that.
Run over
but when I come get you and you don't go to court, you see what I'm saying? You got to give me the same respect. That's all I ask.
Wow.
Man, look, I'll come get anybody. You understand? This is what I do for a living. I don't care if you don't miss court. It don't matter to me. This is what I do for a living. This is a part of being a bail bondsman. Right? Let's actually just do what you signed up to do. Go to court. Just that simple.
That's it.
So to get started in a bail bondsman business, what does that entail?
You have to take a course through the Department of Insurance. You can look up the North Carolina Department of Insurance website. It'll give you everything that you need. You got to do pre-licensing. You got to do a test. You got to get appointed by an insurance company. It's a lot of little odds and ends. It is. But, here again, it's how bad do you want it? How
Is there a lot of upfront costs to it?
It can be. It can be. It just depends. I'm a general agent, so I have the ability to hire and start agencies, right? Okay. So it's a little different for me. Some companies you can actually go work for them. But I had the ability to put you in your own company.
Okay.
So I move a little differently. Yeah.
Would you say the industry is a stable industry, or is it shady a little bit, y'all?
Man,
is it some politics and shit?
Okay, I'm 20 years in. Y'all want the dirty talk?
Dirty talk.
Y'all want the dirty talk?
Yeah.
I would tell y'all like this.
All right.
From about
is that a wise investment for a young entrepreneur today?
No. Okay, so no.
Okay. That's real.
I'm never going to discourage anybody from doing something, right? But I'm always going to be honest about it from the business aspect, right? I'm never going to discourage you to go do it. If you can go do it and you feel like you can take it and go further with it, by all means, do it, right? Yeah. But if you're asking me from a business perspective, is it a good business investment? No. Right?
Well.
So as a bail bondsman, So think about this: as a bail bondsman, you're required to pay the full amount of the bond if the person doesn't go to court. Right?
Get your pockets ready.
So you figure.
I'm coming for you, baby.
So you figure, on average, a bail bondsman only typically collects what, 10% of the fee.
10%, yeah.
So if you sign out on a $10,000 bond, and you only give me $1,000, and you miss court, guess what I got to pay the court?
$9,000.
$10,000.
The whole.
So that's why they go so hard.
Yeah.
So here again, respect me like I respect you. Right?
Yeah, we gotta come.
You see what I'm saying? Because if the shoe was on the other foot and I owed you 10 grand, you'd be looking at me sideways too, right?
Yeah.
Don't look for you.
You understand what I'm saying? So don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it business, man. Look, here again, I don't care.
They have to show somebody doing like you know the day court. I just stopped by to remind you.
You know, man, look, in I will say this, and don't take this personal when I say this, y'all. Don't take it personal. But my older clientele was real. I ain't gonna lie to you, right?
Oh yeah.
So you know, earlier in the game, before people got a little older and they got out of the game, thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
You know, they understood the game. The game was two people you always kept on payroll. You kept your money ready for, right? That's what attorney and what the bail bondsman. Just makes sense.
Yeah.
I ain't telling you to go out here and do nothing wrong. I'm gonna tell you that. But what I am gonna tell you is if you're doing something wrong, it's two people you're gonna need.
Yep.
You're gonna need your attorney and you're gonna need your bail bondsman, right? Now, one thing we always know about attorneys, you got to get what to go see an attorney? Out of jail.
Oh, you're out of jail.
Right? So the last thing a bail bondsman wants to hear is what? I gotta pay my who?
Lawyer.
My lawyer. Because your lawyer didn't do shit for you.
Yeah, your lawyer ain't get you out of jail.
No, sir.
I did.
Right. So what I always tell people is the two people you always need to take care of if you're gonna be out here dirty, your bail bondsman, and then your what? Your lawyer.
Might as well just now for the young hustlers that just say fuck the law. Can they invest in you? Can they do like? Can I get an insurance policy with you, bro? And pay on it. Put a little something on it every now and then.
Look,
just in case I get fucked up.
You cannot prepay a bail bondsman in North Carolina. If you ever done that,
Oh wow.
you cannot prepay a bail bondsman.
So that is one of the
I'm
laws.
just gonna tell you that right now. You can look that up. If a bail bondsman is not writing your bond, he can't prepay him. Right? You can't. Don't make sense, right?
He is not on retainer.
Yeah, you can't retain. So
Just asking. I mean, because
now here again, everything I'm telling you is by the book. Now, what you do?
Which is funny why that's illegal because lawyers are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lawyer,
Can be
a
on
lawyer,
retainer.
a lawyer,
Your ass out of jail.
yeah, a lawyer, you're paying for
Get
his
a-
services. A bail bondsman, you're paying for a service.
Yeah.
Right? You're paying me to get you out of jail.
Jail.
But that's still.
Now, even if you know, I will say this. I always get.
It's kind of funny that a lawyer can do that.
Yeah.
Y'all
Retainer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't ever want to. I'm gonna put it to you like this. Here again, I always tell you, I do things by the book, right? I will tell you this: if you have prepaid one, just make sure you keep your receipt. That's all I'm gonna tell you, right? I mean, this is 101. If you give somebody money, then you need a receipt for the money that you gave. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
So let me ask you this, because I got U.S. Law Shield, and it's funny because I got an attorney on standby for anything that happens with my weapon, but I don't have a bail bondsman. So if I use my weapon, I'm going to jail. Period. But I got to get out. But I got that attorney sick. That's all I'm saying. It's just weird. Why you can't have a bail bondsman?
But you can. I mean, that's a simple phone call. I mean, you know, that's a simple
call.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna. I have clientele, and that's not because of. Look, come on, y'all. Let's keep it 100. Bad stuff happen to good people too,
All
y'all.
the time.
Yeah.
All
I
the
mean,
time.
everybody.
Could that service be rendered though? Could
we start
somebody
that business?
Come up with that and say,
Man,
we have insurance. We have insurance.
Bail bond
Or-
insurance.
Or bail bonds.
Bondsman.
Yeah. I'm
mean-
pretty sure
That
you
you can
could.
pay on.
Yeah.
I'm digging.
We're talking to an
digging.
insurance agent right here.
You probably look. I don't want to hold. I don't want to hold on nobody money I can't use. You understand? If I can't use it, I don't want.
That's what insurance companies
They sure
do.
do.
That's
what State Farm and
you know, we
Nationwide.
can go. Look, we'll go down another rabbit hole with insurance money. Because y'all understand, insurance company when they get your money, you know, they invest your money, right? That's how. Anyway, we'll get into that.
Think about all the insurance we paying for wrecks we don't have. Tickets we don't get. We just paying insurance for stuff for just cause it may or may not
You
happen.
think they? You think they taking your premium and just putting it in the bank account and paying bills with it?
No.
I have no idea what the hell they doing. All I know is
Life
that
insurance or retirement?
I really,
all of
I'm
it.
be honest with you, Marlon. I'm really honest with you, Marlon.
So
I never really.
until you pass, you know.
No, man.
When you pass, that's when you have to use it
your
on next.
your
we talking
your
about,
money.
like driver's insurance.
No, we're talking about all.
insurance.
All insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's how they make.
use your money.
Yep. Go ahead.
Say
Go
it.
ahead. No,
No,
they
say it. I'm
use
sorry.
they use your money to make money. That's how they
use your
make money.
to make money. Yeah.
They
Just
use
like
your money.
when you invest in a 401k, they're using your money to supposedly make you more money. Your money ain't just sitting there piling up. They are investing your money in whatever they see fit. If you don't know,
account, it still says, well, when you look at it, it still says that amount, but they've been moved in.
So I'll run it down to you like this. Think about it. Insurance company pays. If they're paying you a dividend, right? So let's say, for instance, I did an insurance policy the other day. Guy got $300,000 whole life policy, right? It's going to cost him. He was probably about close to 50 years old. It's probably going to cost him about $240 a month for $300,000 worth of life insurance, right? $240, right? Now, for the average person, they going, man, that's $240 that I can't spend a month. But for the person that's thinking right, man, that's $275,000 that my kids are probably going to have when I pass away.
Right.
So the question is, what's going to be the trade-off? Do you want to sacrifice $249 now to have $300 later, or do you want to sacrifice the $249 now? You want to use the $249 and have nothing later?
Yeah.
Now the crazy part about that is now, even as you're paying your premium to the life insurance company, guess what they're doing? They're paying you probably 5% on the money that you're putting into your account as a return, but they're probably loaning it out to somebody for 7 or 8%.
Yeah. Take money to make money.
Now, do most people say with those insurance policies just go ahead on and pay the annual fee? Man, without having to deal with it on a month.
However you can get it done. That's, man, look, here again, don't put a barrier in front of yourself. However you can get it done. You know, and here, man, life insurance is not that expensive. So it's not, you know, I'm talking about a $300,000 policy, right? But I'm talking about a whole life policy, which is something that's totally different. It's going to accrue a cash value where the person can come in and get a loan off of that $300,000 that they'll never, I ain't going to say never, but that can be paid back when they die. Or can be paid back during the term. You see what I'm saying? For a small percentage. For a smaller percentage, then you can go to you'll be borrowing your own money. Think about that. Think about if you borrow your own money, you can borrow $300,000 from yourself. Not go to the bank. It ain't gonna be no credit check. It ain't gonna be none of that because it's your money.
How many years would you have to have?
It depends on the policy.
It just depends.
It depends on the policy. I mean, you could do a $10,000 policy the same way. It can be a $10,000 policy.
Because I wonder if that's a way that, you know, for young entrepreneurs to start their own business with.
Perfect way.
You know what I'm saying? Just to
say that again so the people in the back can hear you. Because what I learned from our time at State, if I would have taken my Pell Grant, right, and all the other monies we got, right, I could have bought a property for the low, right? Back in the day, at 19, 20. Not only could I brought a property, I could have started a business with some of that money versus going shopping. See what I'm saying? But I didn't learn that till I went and got my master's degree. And they give you so much money to get your master's.
Can I tell y'all something?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something that's gonna hurt y'all feelings. Man, have y'all really looked at these little 6 and 7 year olds that are becoming millionaires overnight?
Yeah, they are.
And we sitting here trying to figure it out.
And they
having fun.
They figured it out.
So my question is, just do what they doing. That's what they did.
Do what they doing.
They looked at somebody else, right? Because they didn't have. I guarantee they didn't have an idea for themselves.
That's right.
They looked at somebody else and said, "Ooh, I can do that." Man, YouTube, Google, all that stuff can take you so much further than a college degree at this point, y'all. And I'm a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand? But I'm also a realist. I understand that now, with information being so readily available at your fingertips, you don't have to go to school.
No.
When I came out of school, the one thing they always told you was if you didn't go to college, you wasn't going to get no job. That was pounded into our head. You understand? pound it, right? But now, you know, you look at these kids and you go, man, listen, damn, you still in high school. You could be a millionaire right now.
You don't need no job.
You don't need that. My two daughters go to early college, right? So when they graduate from early college, they'll graduate high school as social degree. So they'll go into college as juniors.
My daughter's on the same program.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Right? So now what I'm trying to get them to understand is you just crushed the learning curve by 2 years.
And them some critical 2 years
You just crushed it by 2 years, bro. But now you got to understand that with crushing that 2 year timeline, you have also got to prepare yourself 2 years forward.
Wow. Yeah.
You understand? Because if you don't, I mean, you where's the growth?
Yeah. And I also say this, it depends on what you're going to college for. See, all of my degrees were in science, and I actually work in the pharmaceutical industry. I couldn't be there without a degree.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
I'm lucky that I landed in something I went to school for.
Well, I mean, that was a smart choice because, you know, the medical field is something that I always
yield a result. But I do
get something in there. You did.
So it depends on what you go to college for.
You know, especially
never gonna tell anybody not to go.
Involvement of life, you know what I'm saying? It's always something going on.
But I was fortunate enough. My dad also taught me a trade too. So I always tell people if I can't get it with this,
that's right.
I can get it with this.
You know what? Tell them.
What?
With that skill, with that trade, your hands.
My daughter shot the bejesus out of me, and I loved her for it because I really express this to young men, and more so than young women. Because of the opportunity-wise thing that's going on, and because of the incarceration rate, and you know, the records are fucked up. So I really express this to the young men that if you're not interested in college right after you get out of high school, get your ass a trade.
Bro.
Learn how to use your hands and how to create money out of nothing.
Man, listen, abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Now my daughter. Now what I was gonna say to you, my daughter, she's on the same program. She went to an engineering high school. She graduated with honors this year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Paris Monet.
Congrats.
And she said, Daddy, I know I'm graduating early, but I think I want to do the hair thing like you. I want to go to hair school first before I go to A&T. And I was like, you know what, baby? You should do that.
Damn right.
That's right.
Yeah, go on and get your trade in, and then by the time you finish with that, you'll be old enough to be with your peers that you're supposed to be with anyway, going into college.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you'll have a trade under your belt. You're going in there with a degree already.
Man, she won't even be thinking about her peers. 6 months from now, man, the people, man, you know, and that's the one thing we gotta always understand too, y'all. Where you are now it's not where you're gonna be from 6 months from now. I mean, period. Whether it's up or down, right?
Yeah.
But it takes the same amount of energy to go up than it does to go down. Same amount of energy.
Same amount of energy.
That's what's up.
So how you gonna apply it? That's the only thing that matters. How you gonna apply it, right?
Man, we can go on and on for days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give a shout out, brother.
Man, look, shout out. Look, really, no shout out. Shout out to me.
I know that's right.
Shout out to me. Look, I always tell people, look, I call, you can always reinvent yourself. So I call myself the MVP, right? And that's not because I brag or I boast, but MVP stands for maximum value provider, right? Ooh. If I can't step in the room and leave you with something, then my time was wasted. Understand? If I can't step in the room and learn something from y'all, my time was wasted. You understand? Because my time is all that matters, because it's what? My time.
Your time.
You understand?
That's right.
So when you give somebody your time, if they don't respect it, don't give it to them again.
That's right.
Because guess what? It's energy what? That's lost. Now, I don't lose no energy. You understand? I lose a friend before I lose some energy.
That's right.
Understand?
That's right.
Heavy. Amen.
Yeah, so please give out your social media.
You can catch me on Facebook at man, I'm gonna give you one of it's the MVP. Yeah, the MVP Life is one, or you can do it at the letter B MVP for Life.
Okay.
Right, that one works too.
I was like, I got the one.
Yeah, or you can do Instagram, Tre4Bonds. Tre4Bonds on Instagram. Freedom Bell Bonding 336-724-0911. The home of no bullshit. Just
Y'all
bail.
heard?
You hear me?
Let me ask you one more question before we dismiss. Why are not life coaches in the high schools? Why is that not something that's...
Generally because, you know, to carry the life coach, what I call title, you don't have to have a degree per se, right?
Okay.
So most of the time when you're dealing in the school system, they want you to be degree, right? You know, I took
form hours.
Right. You know, me personally, I took what I consider I'm always trying to educate myself. So I took actual courses and can show you certification to do so, right? But I always tell people this: life coaching is life, right? Only thing I'm doing is experiencing your life with you, right? Ricardo came out with something today that honestly he probably haven't thought about. You came up with something today that you never thought about. That's life coaching. I don't have to give you nothing. You understand? Because what I said earlier, everything that you need is what?
Within you.
It's already here, right? Simple thing, man. Simple thing about life. Anything you've ever wanted, you've got it. Think about that. Anything in life you've ever wanted, you've got it.
Wow. The world is yours.
Right? It's the things that you typically think you want or you might want. You don't get those things.
Yeah.
Right? So be very intentional about the things you want, the things you desire, right? Because those are things that will shape you, right?
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to get into our morning routine like we did last time. We'll talk about that later, though.
All right, we're gonna have to do a part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make this a segment because this is powerful.
Yeah, we got some more segment. Like, actually, I kind of want to bring you in with some other brothers that I had on the show earlier. I'm not gonna say the names just yet, but
my man.
I think we're gonna do something where we get the power of the minds going.
Yeah.
Look,
Look, we need to do a doggone conference or something, man. A little one day man powwow or something.
Okay.
You know, I tell you, man,
great.
look, we gotta understand. Men need to talk to y'all.
Yes, they do.
We need to talk to y'all.
We need to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we talking about more than just strip clubs and everything else. You understand?
Yeah.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the type of person, man, my ear is always open, y'all. The secrets I carry within me, I promise you they going to the grave with me.
I know that right.
I promise you. They going to the grave with me.
I know that's right. All right, y'all. Well, look. I want y'all to go to Dirty Talk Pod 336. Like, don't stare, but share.
But sure.
Don't hide in the bag. You know what I'm talking about? What's your coffee? Alright. Now, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with our stinking last tonight. Love you all, guys. Peace, love, and happiness.
Peace.